Very, very welcome, all of you beloved. While we are in this satsang right now for the exploration of truth, I pray that we are able to use all of our capacities and all of our intention to explore and live the truth right now during this meeting. And may the beloved Lord help us through His grace on us. May the wisdom and love of our Guru bring us to the right state of being and to the right seeing, to the freedom into who we are. Thank you.
Thank you, Ji. I love this mudra of Namaste. It feels very integrating. It's like my body and mind is coming together. And I years ago heard that the meaning of Namaste is something like the divine in me bows to the divine in you. And somehow when it just comes together like that, I can really feel that. And it feels very beautiful. Thank you, Ji.
You are right. Actually, we explored these possibilities also here in the team in different times, different ways. That when we offer flowers, in the beginning before the meeting, when we offer flowers to the masters and bow down to them, there was an inspiration at one point to share. I shared that we are connecting to the Guru outside when we bow down to the Guru. And let us connect to the Guru inside also at the same time, that time. And it will be such a powerful bowing down, that time. Not only two minds joining together, but also the individual seeker and its Guru inside also joining together. Or we bow down to the Guru outside and the Guru inside. And allow ourselves to connect to the Guru outside and the Guru inside, both at the same time. So you are right, actually. It's a very powerful thing. Depends on how we are using it, how present we are, and it is a beautiful gesture also. It's a beautiful activity also, but it can be something much more than that also. Different beings reported, it was my experience also, that when we are feeling weak, let's say sometime, if we touch our both of the hands together, we feel more strong, energetically, for example. If we keep holding both of our hands for some time, while feeling weak or broken or, shattered or something, we start feeling more complete and strong also during that time. And at some point it becomes natural for us to keep our hands together so that the energy circle within ourselves remains complete always, like it is not broken. Many things, but yes, you are right. I feel what we are talking about in one sense is like how much of ourself is doing something at any point of time. Even a small thing like namaste can be like namaste or namaste or namaste or namaste, Or it can be no, whole of myself is saying namaste to you. Meaning I am complete and total in myself, one in myself, when I am saying namaste to you. This is a possibility also. Many possibility, depends in what state we are. There are no fixed, like I'm not defining these things as a fixed thing, but as more as possibilities for us, higher possibilities for us also, useful possibilities for awakening also. Because there are stories when some scientist, some mathematician never did any spiritual practices and just at some point felt interested and went to a temple of God and just bowed down like this one time, and became free forever. There's something very important about completion. With every completion, as a bonus, always comes freedom of that level, you know, of that degree. So wherever completion happens, freedom happens. Let's say it is said, and we all know this also. Let's say we are walking, we are okay, warmed up. Then we are walking faster. Then we feel like running. Let's say maybe not in this my present state of body, but I used to run before. So when we start running, after one or 2 kilometers of running, suddenly it feels like as if body becomes complete in itself, body energies, and we become free from body. Not only from body, but also from body movement, meaning running. Now it is like body running and I am watching my body running. So that completion brings freedom from what has become complete to who is living that. That who is the being of life. That's what we are. So anything that becomes complete inside us, even for a moment, we become free from that. The being becomes free from that, for that moment. And that's a very powerful thing, to know, separate ourselves separately from it. That I'm separate from it. That I'm different from it in nature. And knowingly or unknowingly, the being, whenever there is an incompletion inside our body, thoughts, feelings, anywhere, any level, the being tries to complete it. It's a default system. No? It's just that maybe it is not well-informed being. Meaning the being is not living in it from its own wisdom right now, more depending on the wisdom of the mind. That it is, the way it is trying to complete that is going to take a long time, because it will include a lot of trial and error, like failure, many failures, and then only after that it will succeed. Every one of us is going to succeed in completing that which we are trying to complete inside us. It's just a matter of time, how long it will take. Like some are able to complete that same thing in 1 week, some are able to take in 1 decade or one lifetime. And what happens when we complete that? We become free from that. Meaning we know that that is still there inside us or as a body, and we are free from it now. This is the power of completion. So that's why completion and freedom are very important thing that can be understood. In this, it is important to mention the identification also. Identification of the being is not possible with something which is complete. Originally, identification of the being happens with that which is incomplete in one sense. And it remains identified with that which is incomplete. Now it becomes a very vicious, very strange circle now. That the being tries to complete that thing which it is originally identified with as incomplete, and indirectly it tries to not let it be completed also, because otherwise this disidentification will happen. It's amazing. These are simple and amazing things to notice. So, like, person basically means when the being is knowing itself as incomplete and has accepted completely that I am incomplete. Waking up is to know that I am something separate from the sense of incompletion. I am the knower, I am the aware, I'm that which is aware of the incompletion inside me. Now, how this happens is different. For a moment, in satsang, everything can become complete if we allow it, for example. Meaning, we can become free from everything if we allow it right now. Meaning, if we do not do anything about anything right now, then actually by default, those things just will become complete by themselves for now. Or effectively, at least we will become free from them. And we can experience that I am something either already complete or free from the field where completion or incompletion happens. So thank you. It's a very beautiful topic.
Thank you, G. This incompletion in the personal, I think lot of suffering, all of suffering perhaps, is this unconsciousness about the incompleteness and constantly seeking perfection in the personal realm. And actually that by default is never going to happen.
It's so uh, it's something very very significant, but like it is like trying to complete ourselves at a wrong level, at a much outer level than the level where the incompletion is being felt. No? And it's going to work, by the way, in the long run. Like, it's going to take like few decades, maybe sometime. It's going to take maybe at least one decade. And then by doing the external activities to complete ourselves, because why we are doing it, that time we are living that incompletion. So little bit by bit, that incompletion will start becoming complete. Or we will start noticing that, it's here. Like using the life situation and activity to reflect back onto the level where the incompletion is happening, and that is correcting it. So it's going to take a long time, but there are much direct and faster ways than doing it. Being conscious of being incomplete or being conscious of the level where the incompletion is happening is one of the most significant step towards it. Because immediately, as soon as we become, like, there is nothing more powerful tailor to stitch anything together than the awareness, than the consciousness, than being conscious. As soon as we become conscious of something inside, it starts stitching together itself, like resolving basically. Not stitching, but resolving in a way, into a perfect completion. For example, feeling that, there is a certain feeling of incompletion inside us. And we may be feeling guilty of feeling incomplete also, because I am the being. At some level, it has become clear to us that I am the being, so I am not really supposed to feel incomplete. And if, as the being, we can become conscious of it, which basically means that our container of consciousness right now, or the range of consciousness, the light of consciousness will be much more, and it is going to include both at the same time. It is going to include the sense of incompletion, meaning we will be conscious of sense of incompletion. At the same time, we will be conscious of not feeling good about it. And then none of it need to be changed or removed in the way we have been trying to change. And yet it will change in the way it must change. No? Like it has been blessed by the light of truth, like this. And somehow the disharmony is just removed from it. It has become harmonious now, and you, the being, became free from it. Now the degree of incompletion which is necessary to be felt inside so that the consciousness can repair itself or correct itself to live a better life or to produce a better life experience, that work will continue. But it will bother you much less now. You know? Like you are now free to be joyful in your being, much more than before. That's why clarity is God for me, in one sense. If we have become clear in this way, we have actually become, like our work is done now. Now the consciousness of that level will continue doing its work of repairing, correcting, and we have become free to live in the joy and the truth of our own being. Like that identification is broken now. Identification is not like a one thing only. It is also powered by many, many small identifications also. Thank you. It's nice.
Thank you, Ji. And further to this, I feel that when disidentification takes place, there's such a beautiful and even joyful and blissful and peaceful acceptance of this person, of all the flaws of this person.
Yes, totally. Because we have been troubled or living in the state of trouble in multiple levels, in multiple ways when we are living as a person. Like a feeling is there, and there is a judgment for the feeling, and there is a judgment for being judgmental about the feeling also. So many layers, they just simply disappear. It's like, wow, like like a rain happened. So all the dust kind of pollution falls on the ground and the sky and the air and the tree. Everything looks so clean and clear. We are able to see, feel everything much more simply. And with that, what happens is somehow as if the sense of struggle, sense of disturbance, sense of problem, unhappiness, it just disappeared. We are not troubled by how things are now anymore, at least for now. And when we are not troubled, we are not moving so much anywhere. When we are not moving so much anywhere, our seeing is clear. And when our seeing is clear, it is so much more powerful moment for us that we are able to clearly see that what is happening. It's like light turned on for now. And we are able to see that it is a rope, it's not a snake. And light may turn off again, and we may again feel the fear of the snake. But even then, something has added in us. Beautiful now. Like at least one time I saw there was only a rope. At least like this. That's why meditation, core meditation, which I share, is very important to do. It is about not trying to solve things, but more trying to withdraw ourselves from everything into our being, into the peacefulness, joyfulness, truth of our being, where we don't have any trouble. We are not in the troubled state there. But somehow, because of being troubled by something and being identified with that state, we just don't notice that how to get out of it in a way sometime. We don't know that what to do about it. Or we don't notice that if I can get out of it, I can be peaceful right now. Because when we are peaceful, we can solve our problems much better, isn't it? When we are joyful, we can solve our problems much better. And there is a way to be joyful and peaceful before solving problems. That way is meditation, core meditation. Then we can come back And we are going to find the same incompletion inside us. But this time we are not condemning it, or we are not condemning our condemnations also. We are like, okay, this is how I am. Not this is how I am, this is how things are. When identification with the body, mind, energies are there, then it is not possible to accept. It's not about personal attitude that we cannot accept that I'm a broken, like, a disharmonious person or something. It's not about that. We all are being actually. Being cannot accept that I am having this harmony. It cannot accept ever. And it's a good thing. Because the being knows I am harmony itself. I am harmony itself. That's the reason. But for the same reason, the being can come back to its natural state. When we accept ourselves, basically we don't accept ourselves. We accept that inside myself. Even if we are not clear in the mind, we know that it is more inside myself disharmony, not that I am disharmony. But I am something, like some part or aspect of myself remains different from it, untouched by it, and harmonious and true. But it's a beautiful thing that we are living. No? Thank you. Uma, you want to say something?
Pranam ji. Ji, I am very happy today in Satsang. It is feeling like coming home, and whatever I do, like living truth or talking, whatever I do is so beautiful. And want to participate totally, like living truth and also talking to you.
Our togetherness, what we are knowing as satsang, is a really powerful possibility. We will know one day for what reason, why it is so powerful. But one thing I can say, that it is because of you and me both, no? Because of our intention of discovering that. It's a very powerful opportunity. Like in one go, we are able to see or attain so many things that we cannot attain in one go otherwise when we are doing sadhana alone. No? Because generally, for example, first of all, we have to become aware that I am lost in the mind, that I am continuously rotating in the thoughts and feelings. Then comes the more difficult task, how to be free from it now. And that time we don't really know that I am identified. We don't know that I am the being that time. We have just become conscious. This is what is 2-1 in this 2-1-1-0 position. We have just become conscious, stable seer that I am rotating in the thought. It's just that I don't know how to get out of it now. And then in some way we may try and we may succeed in recognizing ourselves as the being, as the presence I am, where we may feel for a few moments I am out of mind, out of that compulsive involvement with that thought feeling. And then back to normal again. And that kind of whole thing is so difficult when we are doing sadhana alone. And in satsang, actually it is so quickly possible, as we are interested, that we not only, like as we talk, as we discuss, as we explore, it is seen by us when we are present and listening and involved, like participating. We are immediately able to see these things inside. The reason is that the light of truth is here. What I call the prasad of my guru, the grace of God, that light of truth is always here in Satsang. And that's a very powerful thing. We don't know that yet. It's that how much we are utilizing it. It's just about that. Because we have very less light in a way, or we don't have so much true light when we are doing our own sadhana. The reason is not that the light is not there. Reason is that we are closed to that light because of being caught up in the sense of doer that time, sense of individual self that time. Because who will do sadhana? The sense of doer. The individual self will do sadhana. So that individual self is that sleep, that wall, that umbrella, which does not let the light of grace of God and touch us or reach us. No, that's why we are very isolated there. We have much less light of consciousness there. Here we have so much more actually, because by coming to satsang we have declared already, hey, source of life, I need help. Help me, or I'm ready to take help. No? Even in the through this satsang, like this. So say anything else if you want.
Yes, you said about clarity, and I also want to share because I also find it very, very helpful, like most fundamental help for me. It is like I have lot of tasks to do, and I just make list, and like this I remain free from burden of remembering every and checking everything. I just it feels like 80% work is done now only 20%, so it is so burdenless already.
Yes.
And you said that we must save our energy for living our truth. Like we spend energy in many things, like so that for living our truth, it is necessary that I feel like this inside me, because I do this like interest or energy, and when we are free from this burden of keep remembering things, and it feels like this. When clarity is there, everything is clear, then I also have time and energy to live my joy also.
We need energy for everything. No? In reality, we, the individual self, who wakes up in the morning, the sense of I am, this individual self is made of consciousness, or it is consciousness, and this consciousness is the energy it uses actually to do anything and everything. To know also, to feel also, to go anywhere also, to do something also, to move also, to not move also, to just sitting and not doing, or to doing something and uh, not sitting, walking, moving. So it is using itself only, basically. The individual self is using itself only in everything. So the more it saves energy, it is saving itself in a way. And the more it saves energy for living itself, it is saving itself for itself, isn't it? When the individual self saves itself, for living itself. That is what is just sitting meditation. No? That is what is satsang actually. Then what happens? Then somehow the sense of individual self kind of thins away. The feeling that I'm individual self is less felt here. The sense of being is felt more here now. Being means like I am, I exist, but the taste of our being is felt much more than in relation to doing something or having this life or this relation. Like a being without any relation with life. That taste of our free being is felt here. through meditation or through dhyan or through satsang. No? So it is a very powerful and important thing that what you are saying. And for that, we all are wise beings. It totally makes sense for me to use our mind to manage our day better, so that we save energy or time or effectively, fundamentally ourselves for sitting in our being or exploring our truth or living our truth. Because when we have spent ourselves a lot in the daily life activities unnecessarily, like when necessary thing is fine, but many time unnecessarily non-essential things, that time, even if time is left in the day, we may feel tired already. We may not feel like I want to sit in my being now, because it looks like an activity, like an effort, because or also we are too much into that mode of doership also that time. So coming to that non-doer state is very difficult that time also. It may appeal to some of us that actually one day is like one life. Like morning is birth. But this time we are the witness, or in a way we are a guardian of this one also who wakes up in the morning. When we have started becoming conscious and wise, the spiritual beings that we are, that okay, how to design my day in such a way that I get the maximum by the end of the day, or by the end of this life of one day. And we will get so much more, in which we will have the space for necessary activities of life, including earning money and attending, life of relation with life also, everything. And yet we will have enough time for remembering that it is just for one day. I am going to be beyond one day, but this who I am in this day, in this waking state, I am not going to be that after waking state. Even if intellectually we understand this, something starts changing in us. Next day, what will happen is that as we will wake up in the morning, somehow this intellectual understanding, which has gone deeper when embraced from the being, will remain inside us. And we will wake up in the morning suddenly, and first thing that we will remember is that, I'm entering into that mode of being individual right now. Like the day, like the life of the individual begins now. We will be able to notice these things so much more simply, actually. It's just about embracing the higher possibilities in a way, or understandings in a way. So thank you. I think it's very nice talking to you.
Thank you so much. This clarity is a very good tool for systematic approach of everything, living life, living our truth, everything. Thank you.
Generally, when we are in the person state, we are in a restless state. That time, saving time from the activities of life is like what I will do now, But for the beings who, all of us, who are getting out of that person state or restless state, we have so much to do when we are free. We have to do nothing. We have to do nothing. So we need so much time for not doing anything. Just being. And that beauty of being opened, that joy, that joy, that bliss of being opened. Immediately, just sitting, and immediately it opens up. Like, wow. The duality start disappearing in one sense, or we start getting out of duality as a whole, not just out of person. No, out of the whole duality, we start getting out of that experience of duality into the non-dual reality of being. we start experiencing the light, the presence of God, inside. In that light, we are not separate from that presence of God, but we are still there as something which is aware of it, something which is rejoicing in it, something which is, dancing out of joy in it. We are more like a alertness, which knows that I am not a person or anything, which also knows the value of this which is present here, that presence of God. So we need actually all the time, in a way, of the day for just sitting and not doing anything, so that we can live the truth, the presence of God inside us. And that's why, Uma, it makes sense to organize our day better. Like time management. For those who want to discover the timeless, time management is very useful thing. Because it is not going to organize their time, it is going to organize them. It is going to make them more stable and clear being. Clear, the more stable and clear being, the more possible to be free, as and when we want to, from what we are doing, with whatever we are doing, with the life activity. For many of us in the beginning, it will be so difficult to believe that there can be some time in the day where I will not do anything. It is default that we are always doing something inside, even if not outside. No? Always we are doing something inside, like we are thinking either personal, social or spiritual things, trying to feel, like always doing something. No? Slowly being will wake up that no, that's an activity. But I am something beyond the activity also. Meaning I have a freedom to not be involved in that thought feeling process, that flow of energies and mind inside me, which is the individual self, or which is happening in the individual consciousness. No? I'm free actually not to attend any of it. That's what we learn in meditation. No? That I'm free not to attend my individuality and its story and its sense of self, everything together. No? I'm free to not attend my individual aspect. This is what we learn in Satsang, no? in Dhyana. No? Yes, Uma?
Yes, Ji, very much like this. I'm totally living with you this. Like now, from office to home, I'm free to come home anytime.
We can use another language here. That language is of focusing. When we are focusing too much or too long on something, we don't notice, but identification happens. So identification is not a fault, it's somebody's fault. It is what happens. You know? Try to identify with something, try to focus on something right now and taste this, what I'm saying. You will know that it is true. You know? Let's say, just focus on something. Could be what is happening on the screen or something in the room. I mean, if you focus on something in the room, then that will not be possible right now, because I'm talking and you will be listening, so that will interrupt that. Whole of you is needed for that. The more we are focusing on something and continuously, identification happens. You know, I'm not sure if we can fully understand identification. What is identification? It is not that I have got identified with the body. No, the being of life got identified with the body, created the I out of the identification. Do you see what I'm saying, Uma? The being of life got identified with the body and has, as a result, as a side effect, created a sense of I. Now this I, if tries to be free from identification with the body, it will not succeed. No? But if this I does not do anything, it just sits quietly, it will return to its true original state, where identification is not present. So the one who is caught up is a I, and the one who becomes free is not a I. Are we open for such a freedom? Are we open for freedom of I, or are we open for freedom from I also? You know, and let's not have fear about it that very quickly I will become free from I. Not so easy. It's not so easy really. And even if you become, you will be supremely blissful. At least you will not mind. Anyone else can mind in this whole world. You will not mind that I have too soon became free from I. And you, the being of life, will take care. You, the being of life, is taking care right now also, despite of being identified. So much of your energy of body-mind is being spent in the identification and maintaining the identification or sense of I that is produced out of it, no? The sense of individual person. Most of the energy is being spent in this only. And you are still able to do things in your life every day. It's a miracle, no, beloved? Because you are the being of life. You have so much power. You have so much, like you have infinite powers and infinite energy and infinite wisdom, basically. No? That's why you are able to achieve that. Thank you. Very nice.
Thank you, Rajee.
Devdas, you wrote, beloved Rajee, thank God for you. I'm very happy that there is a possibility to follow the live satsang through the YouTube channel as well. Sometime I can follow the satsang only through YouTube because the signal here is not strong enough. This is the situation now as well. Endless gratitude for you. God bless you unendingly, beloved. Love, love. Thank you, beloved Devdas. I receive all your love in my being, in my heart. Thank you, beloved, for that. Thank you for your blessings. And thank you for giving this feedback also. Because there are times when it feels to us that YouTube live streaming is not useful for anyone. No, sometimes it feels like this. So thank you for giving this feedback. Even if it is useful for one, I would be very happy to continue this. No, we will try to continue this, no, as much as we can. Thank you, beloved Devdas. Anna, you want to talk?
Namaste, Rajee.
Namaste.
Thank you for the start of the satsang. Again, in a very perfect way, as always. And while you were talking to Uma, this is exactly what I'm going through in the moment, except that I'm at a point where I would detach even more, also during the day and around people. And what I'm noticing is there is a lot of guilt feeling about it. Just as if, not that I'm not caring just of being selfish to take care of that and myself first and all the time, and then I can't wait just to come home or to be somewhere alone, or and this is now it's becoming almost like a game like that, because it's like, why do I need to go to the toilet or home? I just want to be able to be like detached completely also when I'm working and when I'm around people. And it is close to being completely detached, but it's not complete. It's not complete. There is constantly this doer that is still there with a little bit of interest of making things right or of completing something, and some like a big need of complete withdrawal, like being in a cave, but still in the world. Yeah.
I don't know if I mentioned or not, but my last few years, like 7 year or so, uh, my meditation rooms were offices and washrooms and conference rooms. So I can understand what you are going through. One key I experienced during that time or discovered during that time, I will just share with you in case it may help you. Because it depends. Like, if your way of looking and your state and everything will match with this key, it will work for you. Otherwise, it will not, in that way. So, just sharing in case it may help. What I found was that there are two things I was doing that time. One was meditating, meaning trying to remain in the being or being clear about, like basically focus on the spiritual work. Another was the work which was necessary for the work, in the office, in that life, or you know. And I found that there was third thing also. And that third thing was actually the only thing which was creating disturbance. Both the spiritual effort or involvement in the spiritual effort, activity, and involvement in the practical life was not in conflict with each other really. Because it was clearly my decision to do that activity because it is seen that it is important to do that office work or anything. No? That third thing was as if there was something not clear inside, and it is as if like something like a dark room inside us, like a gray area inside us, like it's some energy which is unconscious energy inside us, and it was trying to pull me there. Let's talk here about the work, or like this is where it was trying to choose that I should either fully get involved in the work or I should fully get involved in the spiritual work, outer work or spiritual work. And by visiting it and looking at it clearly and not doing anything about it, but more being just clear about it, it dissolved somehow. It dissolved. It just actually dissolved actually. It was just not there at some point. Which somehow made the whole thing of working activity in the outer world and working in internally, it made it very perfect match for each other because they used to contrast each other very nicely. Like a very intense mental activity is a perfect contrast for sitting quietly and having a coffee after that. No? Just enjoying, just letting ourselves fall, provided I have exhausted myself doing the mental activity. No? And before that block was noticed in me, as if some energy used to remain unspent in a way. No? And then things changed actually, I noticed. It was not a big thing, like a lot of block. It's just some small thing, very small thing. But something as if it is accepted by us as reality. Because my first experience, spiritual experience also happened through work, during the work time only. But that time it was more of a, intense work. Some intense work was being done, physical and mental also, discussion and everything. And then suddenly, something opened up very powerful. Like really very powerful. So I hope that it will help you in some way. If not, please tell me, then we can talk, look into it more from another angle maybe.
Yes, it is just how to achieve this. I know what you're talking about these moments when something is really very mental and discussion and so on, and I manage, and there is this strong detachment and peace, and how things are being handled from that space, and this is fine, but just like when we are in satsang now, this need of being like that all the time is followed by this, what you say, this gray area of, like, I don't know, guilt or some kind of feeling that is because I know it's possible, but still it is, I don't do it for some reason. I don't know, guilt. I think it's guilt of not caring or something. I cannot put my finger on.
I don't feel that it is guilt only. It is something else. That something else is the being of life is taking time in adjusting itself, its wisdom, so that it can live as itself while continue playing the role well, which is it has accepted in this life. No? So I don't feel that it is really something wrong in that way. It is just that there are some ideas maybe you have, and they are being projected onto this. Then they are making it look like it's a guilt or something. Let go of any idea about it and meet it. Meet it right now if you feel, and you will be surprised that all is so perfect already. All is so perfect already. Nobody is in the journey really. If it is the beloved. It is my beloved Lord only. There is nobody in the journey. And I'm really telling you a very immediate experience. It's not like something learned or like there is nobody real there who is journeying. But we can have an idea that I am somebody who is journeying, who is progressing. Who is progressing is the Lord itself, who never progresses. So we don't need to be free from the progress or how things are. We need to be free from the objection we have about it, resistance we have for it. That resistance is coming from the misunderstanding we have about ourselves and about everything also. This is where clarity will help. So either the clarity will live inside us or the resistance. No? Right now I am inviting you to completely bring everything into this moment, this light of satsang, this light of seeing right now. Don't try to exclude anything, and let's see. Because independently things look much heavier, much more darker sometimes, or brighter also. But in relation, in the perspective, how they are. Have a look. So there is a practical life, there is a need for practical life, there is my spiritual discovery, and I have the desire, I have a very strong craving or desire, longing to just sit in my being, just remain in my being all the time now. So this is what it is, total. But don't do anything about any of it. Don't be a doer right now. Be only a seer right now. Or rather, if possible, be a witness, a seer in such a way that none of it is yours. As if you are looking at somebody else's life. And you will be surprised that, my God, where is problem? Like how things can be better than they are right now already. But don't go there. Remain here only. The self cannot be more perfect than it is already. The energies are already perfectly flowing and they are being perfected continuously also. Then what is there which is not perfect or complete inside us? Right now, let us check. And let's really check. Let's not believe that, okay, everything is perfect. No, don't give up. Don't give up your rejection for it, but also don't be so rigid about the rejection, with the rejection. Let's have an openness that, yes, I feel there is something not okay, but let's be more open to discover, really, to see what is not okay. Meaning, let us live consciously right now. What is not okay right now? Like, what is that which is not complete in me? And don't expect really that you will find something incomplete in you, no? Because if you believe that, then you will always continue believing that something is not complete in me, no? Open, be open. That maybe nothing is incomplete in me, no? So what is ego? Where is ego? Where is the false self? The self which is always complete and perfect. That is not the false self. The energies which are perfecting themselves continuously, they are also not the false self. Where is false self then? What is false self? Not seeing the whole picture in one go is producing something. That is false self. See everything in one light of seeing. Be one seer of everything that you see in this one light. This is the master key. And in case it is not clear, don't move. Because if you move, you will become a divided seer. And you will not be able to see clearly also. Don't move. So everything is allowed to move, but you don't move. Let your mind move, but you don't move. Let your mind go deep, but you don't go deep. You only remain as you are. You just don't go anywhere. You just don't become anything. And do you find something incomplete now? So thank you, very nice. Anna, what do you feel?
Yes, it is as if like you started this satsang with we are just chasing these projections of incompleteness, and this is what is separating us from not moving all the time, because we take it for as a task almost. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Please understand that incompletion is not a problem for the being of life. It is the very source of joy and excitement. It is what causes movement in the life. So incompletion is not a problem. It is a problem for that imaginary self, which is believing that I can become complete very soon. And it will never become complete because it is not real. The self is already complete. And the energies where the incompletion is felt are never going to become complete. Never. Let's understand this clearly. Never. They will never become complete, because once we complete them today, in this way, a new possibility of perfecting will open up tomorrow for them. So it's a joy. It's a joyful thing. It's not a problem. Let me finish the work. Our job really is only one: to move from job to joy. That's the only job we have. And we will feel fear as individual self. We have fear of joy because I will not be able to do my activities. No? We have very strong fear from joy. We are not afraid of suffering, with that's kind of natural. Like daily business, yeah. Like going to office grumpy is like natural. Like, oh yeah, everybody understands. Immediately having a coffee. Everybody knows that, yeah, why you are having a coffee. As soon as we reach to office, no? But going happy in the office, hi, how are you, everyone? I've been saying hello to, everyone, peon and everyone. You feel like something is wrong with this. People will believe like this, no? Are you drunk or something? Let us be alert about it. Let us adjust. Let us let us become open to get acclimatized to the joy. Because the wisdom that comes out of joy is incomparable. We don't become less intelligent when we are joyful. We become so much more intelligent. But this time we are more, our intelligence is harmonious intelligence. It is not intelligence of the person or individual self. No? It cares about the harmony before deciding anything or doing anything. Our wisdom, no? From that joy. It's like the wisdom of nature also, outside, no? Manifested. It's like wisdom of nature, and then there's a self-awareness there. It's like this. It's a beautiful. So thank you. I think it's very nice. It's like an old habit is still surviving inside, Anna. It's like old habit is still surviving inside. Habit of being that person is still surviving inside in some way. Like there was somebody who used to be always worried about things. Like kind of I don't know if our guest will reach today home or not, because I have pakoras in the kitchen already hot and chai is ready. I hope that it doesn't rain because I have to go some. Like he used to be worried all the time about something. Like he will just create something out of it, and people were very annoyed by it. And then they said that okay, one day everyone, including everyone everywhere, decided that we are going to do everything perfect so that he doesn't have anything to be worried about. And it actually happened. And they said, so are you happy now? Are you feeling happy now? He said, not really. What happened now? He said, actually, I'm worried that I don't have any worries right now. How come? Why I don't have any worries? What happened to me? Like something wrong is happening to me. I don't have any worries right now. We have to really get used to of being that perfect self, which as the, which we are not living. That reality of ourselves, we are not living for a long time. It's not about practical life, doing things or not. It's that all is totally fine. It's about that core sense of incompletion versus core sense of completion. That is what is from where that joy comes. That joy comes from that being, no, which is feeling complete. Like, hey, you are making mistakes continuously. Yeah, sorry. I'll try my best. But that completion does not disappear now. That completion always there. So it is not denying that I will not take care of practical life as much as I can, and then, hey, you are making same mistake again, you are fired. Oh, okay, sorry. It's fine. But still that completion remains. It doesn't go anywhere. It is about the being that you are, who is already complete, is trying to make yourself complete through the completion of energies or life. No? When you have forgotten yourself. When you remember yourself, however, when you remember yourself, then you are already feeling that I am complete. Now you are trying to bring that completion in your energies and in your life now also. Like how much more complete my energies can be. How much more my actions can be complete in one go. Like how much more lasting can be my decisions. How much more perfect can be my seeing, my knowing, my understanding of anything. No? How much true can it be? Like this. This is what is happening. We all are really that one being. We are not many beings, or that one being is manifested as all of us. That one being is living as all of us. We have that common being. No? So that's why it is possible to share something like this and possible to be understood by you, and it will be useful. Because the fundamentals are same. Thank you. Very nice. I want to attempt one question which I have got from email. No, via email I have got a question. I want to attempt that. Let's see. No. This question is from Avnesh ji. No. He wrote that it seems that being happy or unhappy is like a habit, not actually something. We are not burdenless like children. Always there are some thoughts rotating in mind, mostly negative, which are like tension of work or some other things from practical life, and there is a part of fear also, fear of death. When I listen about sickness, that someone is sick and will die, I feel that I will also die one day. That brings fear. I feel that meditation can help in this situation, but I am not able to do so. Please say something about all this so that I can be in natural state. So it is true that all these things are happen to many of us. Even when we are able to see the importance of meditation and we still remain caught up in the sense of fear and confusions and these energies, and we are not able to meditate. It could be like, Avnishji, you have not mentioned that why you are not able to meditate. Is it because of lack of time sometime? Or is it because of something else? Because sometimes it could be that we are so strongly identified with the energies which are flowing that we, even if want to, somehow we are not able to, withdraw ourselves from that identification sometime. So it's a really very, in one sense, many may experience this state sometime, not continuously maybe, but sometime. And let me see if it is possible to share something on this. I feel understanding little bit can help, first of all. Then we can explore that what can be done about it also. What one can do about it, what Avneshji you can do about it. We can explore like this also a little bit. So let us try to understand first. I feel there are three main components of the self in the individual form. One is the self component, the self element, which is pure and untouched by anything. The experiencer of everything, or the one who is aware of everything also. Another is mind. Mind is that conditioning where certain beliefs are taking place about life and about ourselves, about me being the individual person and being responsible for this and that, doing this and that, interacting with other persons and so on. Like the whole story, personal story of life. Third thing is energies. Energies are basically what we experience. Energies means our energy inside. This is what we actually experience. In meditation, in satsang, dhyana satsang, we experience the being, the experiencer. We don't experience experiences of energy, meaning whenever possible. Sometimes we are not able to experience the being, and that's why we continue experiencing the energies of the body mind also, because of our habit of focus on it, default focus on it. But in few minutes in the satsang, we are actually able to withdraw ourselves from the experiences, and we are able to experience the experiencer, that we are the being. For the rest of the time, we are only experiencing the energies. Now, what energy is producing is called the experience. No? Like what is the taste of that energy that time? That is called the experience. As a whole or collectively, like this ingredient is there, this ingredient is there, that ingredient is there, like this. How these experiences are produced, this is one thing if we can understand. Energies vibrate, energies do vibrate to create a certain experience. Like the experience of fear will have a different kind of vibration in the energy than the experience of, let's say, love. The vibration type is different. And from where these experiences are produced, they are produced mainly by our conditioning in the mind, that we perceive life to be in a certain way at any point of time, and based on that we believe that this is what is happening, that I am supposed to feel fear right now. And that I am supposed to feel fear is unnoticed and under the hood, and it gives a message to the energies that produce that vibration, which gives me the feeling of fear. Like this, most of the experiences which we are experiencing inside are produced by our conditioning or self unconsciousness. But however, there are some experiences, or our meditation also is able to affect our energies, meaning it is able to bring a very different kind of vibration to our energies also, which is where we don't know what it is. That's why we are not able to understand what it is, because we have not lived that vibration long enough to put it into the context that what it is and what it is not. Like we have not developed that language for it yet. We just feel something different, beautiful but different. You know, like a joy, like more like a joy, like a peace, more like openness, more like pure, more like free. You know, we use these kind of words, but we are not certain what it is. That is that the living in the purity of our own being also has an impact on our energies. That's why there is such an importance of meditation. Living of our own being has an impact on energies. Not that our being, living of our own being, produces something. It doesn't produce anything. We just remain contained within ourselves, abiding in the being. But when we are abiding in the being is connected to the energies of the body mind also, that time. That has an impact indirectly like this. And that brings that divine vibration in the energies, which brings harmony for the time being, for the moment. Like a peacefulness, like absence of fear, absence of any negative experiences, positive also. Both experiences are kind of not there for now. Not that they will not be there soon, or that not that the experiences are something which are contained within ourselves. No, they are produced within ourselves. Not that they are contained. Conditioning is contained within ourselves. Conditioning produces experiences within ourselves using the energy which is contained within the being that we are. It's like this. So this is that understanding part. Once it is understood, then we will, whenever we are feeling anything negative, let's say, inside us, anything unpleasant that we don't want to experience inside us, then first thing we would like to do is to stop and to drop out of that mind which is basically producing these energies, these experiences. No? But generally we don't know, that's why we don't approach like this. So that's why I have shared in the beginning the understanding. Once we know this, then what we like to do is that we like to kind of focus on something else now. And what is that something else? For the normal flow of life, like for the beings who are not spiritual people, they may divert their attention to something else, like focusing on something book or something, some show or something, like TV or something, some music, for example. As soon as, let's say, we focus on music, like let's say some neutral music, not a personal vocal song or something, but just an instrumental or something, and you will notice that, oh, something is changing in me. Like our attention will habitually be pulled into that unpleasant experience inside. And if we can make a practice of, no, I'm going to focus on the music right now. I'm just going to listen to the music more. For example, if we have that kind of inclination, we can listen to some bhajan, for example, which is very neutral thing. It's not something so much personal or social. No. And somehow we will see some change happening in us. And once we are aware that what happens, then we can use this knowledge to our advantage. But still the best will be to meditate. No? Because from there, not only the purest vibration possible comes in our being, in our energies, no? Which is in one go able to harmonize so many things or give us the taste of completion. But also we are waking up to who we are during this time, which basically means ensuring that the harmony will keep coming in my energies continuously more and more now. Of course, the habit of living in our conditioning or the presence of conditioning in our mind will continue producing many experiences which we were experiencing before also. They will not disappear suddenly unless the conditioning connected to that changes. They will continue producing that experience in the body, in the energy. So I feel that if Avneshji, you are not able to do anything, you can begin with, like you can do something like a prayer. Prayer is a very powerful gesture where we don't need to really believe something, some deity or something. If we do, that is very, very fine. But if we don't believe any God or anything like in the form, if we don't believe God in the form, if we are more towards the formless God, even that is fine. Where we don't know where is my formless God, we know that it is the source of everything, and we can pray actually that, hey Lord, help me. Because somehow I don't know how to get out of it, and only you can help. And you will notice immediately, the grace showers on us in the form of light, in the form of a power which makes us free for the time being. And as soon as we become free for the time being, then we can do what we can, what is best for us. And that is what I feel Dhyan and Satsang. That time, let us learn to sit in our being so that we can get more strength from our own existence. We can listen also to the recordings also, can help. Recordings of satsangs can also help. So attend some satsang, listen some recording of satsang also. That also can help. What can also do magic actually, which we have learned from Muji, Guruji, is this great mantra, thank you. We don't know the power of it yet. Allow this, Avnishji, that even if you are feeling that, oh, things are so worse right now, like, if you can thank Lord for it right now, the way it is, that I'm okay. I thank you for everything as it is. Again, that shower of grace is felt here. This is that power of this simple thing. Because we are saying that I drop my complaint towards it, and I am ready to see your wisdom, O Lord. Because there has to be something in it for me, it's just that I am not able to see. And I now am dropping the complaint. I am open to upgrade my seeing. I am open to see more clearly now. Yet why some feeling inside me is present right now? Why my life situation is like this right now? I'm open to see this now from your eyes, through your eyes, or through the eyes of your grace showering on me right now. Also. And when nothing works, then try to divert your attention at the same level where it is caught up. So that level is level of senses and the mind. The senses and the mind is that level where we experience fear and things like this. That time, try to divert your attention using one of your sense, especially, for example, listening to some music. And it will look like, what the hell, why I'm listening to the music, I'm feeling so negative and all this, why should I listen? No, just continue. Some neutral instrumental or something, just listen and see what happens. And you will really get out of that. Like that circle of believing in the fear and experiencing the fear in the energy will be broken. Because it's a circle created inside us. Feeling some fear or anything inside us is not really something good or bad in itself. It can happen from outside also sometime, no? Like we are in a certain life situation which has impacted our energy in a certain way and which has produced a certain experience. That's okay, But it doesn't mean that it will continue inside us. If anything continues inside us, that is an indication that it has created a circle with our mind, And that has to be broken. Even for the time being, if possible, forever. That forever is that meditation. Sitting in our being is the way to break that circle of experiences and the beliefs which are producing those experiences, and then believing in the reality of those experiences even more now. You know what I mean? Like we feel that fear is not something nice. Then that fear is not something nice, creating fear inside our energies. Now it becomes like much more real. Yeah, I said to you, mind says now, I said to you, fear is not nice. See how bad it is. You know, I hope you see what I'm saying. So Abhineshji, that's all I could say. Thank you for your question. I hope that this question will help others also in some way.
Thank you, Ji. Thank you, Ji. Thank you, Ji. You just now so generously have pulled out every golden key from your heart and just showered it on the satsang. If we just take out this clip, it's all we need.
I think the reason could be that I know Avneshji and he's a very sincere being. And I honestly feel that everyone I met is a sincere being. Being is always sincere. It's just that we are caught up. We are just not finding how to get out of it. We are not finding a way out of it. And my heart, full of love for all of you, it tries to share things like this. So thank you, Abhineshji, also for this sincere question, and thank you that you can appreciate this. Because it is really true that sitting in meditation, meaning just sitting in the being and not doing anything, is really more than enough to finish everything forever. To bring ourselves to the truth of who we are, to the joy, to the bliss of our being, and to the perfection of doing and living in the individual aspect. But it may take long time, and we may go through a lot of confusions during this time. And for those times, sometimes this kind of sharing can be useful. It's like this, that you were convinced that you are a person. And I was trying to convince you that you are a being, no? In different ways. No? And now you are convinced that I am a being. That's why you are able to listen so simply that, oh yeah, as a being, you are right. Things are like this and can be corrected like this. Before that, we were not fighting with being a person. We were fighting as person also. Like trying to justify, no, feeling like this are so important. Like oh, I feel like this, I'm troubled by being a person. But many times we don't notice that we are kind of supporting it in some way. No? Here, I have this kind of clear feeling that being an individual self is not a problem. But being a unaware individual self is the problem. Meaning the individual self who is not aware of itself, its own existence. Because the moment we are aware of our existence, we are aware that I am. I am means not I am something because I am doing something. I am regardless of whether I am doing something or not. As soon as we are this much self-aware, that individual person becomes the individual self now. Which is a very pure state of being, the presence state of being. The person becomes the presence, what I call individual self. Because this is how, since my spiritual childhood, I learned, which is a very perfect state to live the individual life in a very harmonious and joyful manner and experience everything that we want to experience, while we have openness for realizing who we are as the being, beyond being the individual. Yeah, thank you. It's very nice. Nishant, you want to say something?
Namaste, beloved. Thank you for the opportunity. I wanted to ask for your help. It's you've talked about in some ways already. It's not that I need your help to get this thing done right now, but just in that direction. Yeah, I'll give an analogy what I mean by that also. So I had done this thing called free diving some time back, a few years back. Free diving, essentially you dive without the scuba tank and all that, just with the help of your lungs. Yeah, it's a very simple thing. Yeah. So essentially you're on the surface of the ocean, and you essentially calm your body down first. And then they teach you, it's called a duck dive. You go like this and you just go into the ocean like that, yeah. So while I was doing it, and it was a day when there was a lot of waves, So I'm on the surface of the ocean, trying to be calm, and a wave crashes over you, yeah. And then you're coughing and you lose everything, yeah. But eventually I was able to do it, and so finally I was able to, dive into the ocean, yeah, like just under, yeah. Now, the moment we are under, what happens is there's a sense of calmness, yeah. And you can see the waves now, it's all the crashing and things, and you're kind of away from it at this point, yeah. And now, as we go deeper, it is something like, if I close my eyes, it's very calm. The surface is very turbulent, but the moment you start going deeper, it's very calm. So if I close my eyes, it can be said like, it just becomes kind of easy to sense my existence. I'm not saying exactly as it is. It's an analogy that I'm using now. Yeah. So one can say that, closing my eyes, I can sense my existence over here. Yeah. Also, now we are able to get a sense of the coolness of the ocean also. Now, yeah. But my eyes are closed, yeah. So my request was, can you help me open my eyes so I can see the beauty of the ocean also?
Oh, how wonderful. How wonderful, Nishan. And there is a very simple key about it. I'm just using it as an analogy. Obviously, we are not talking about free diving and ocean and waves, no? We are talking about diving inside ourselves, discovering ourselves. The key is that we, when dive inside ourselves, in meditation, no? In meditation, we sit in our being, settle in our being, experience that calmness of our being, oceanic being. That time, as you said, our eyes are closed, meaning our consciousness is closed towards the manifested, the body, mind, and life. No? The life through body, mind, and senses. No? So that we can more purely and clearly experience that what I am experiencing and what I am are not two. They are one thing. Meaning I am not experiencing the calmness of the ocean only. Our eyes should remain closed until, in meditation, our eyes should remain closed, not physical eyes, but our eyes of our attention should remain absorbed in the being until we discover that this calmness of this oceanic being that I am experiencing is not really something separate from who I am. I am this oceanic being. And it is really very important to have very profound experience of it. As I will share with you, it will become clear why. Then what will happen? Then you will open your eyes. In the sense that it will be necessary to open your consciousness for body-mind activities. Even if not for doing many things, but naturally it is necessary. Otherwise, we cannot be called waking up in the waking state. Waking state is where our consciousness has come back in the body-mind. No? During this time, what will happen is that the mind will try to create an image of who you are now. that will be a mixture of two things. One, the profound experience that you had of being the oceanic being, the memory of it in the mind, no? Whatever mind could capture that time, and the knowledge it has about you from the past. Together it will try to produce a image of who you are now. The more proportion of the experience of who you are truly is in it, the better. Just for now. The more it will remain like a taste in on your tongue, even when you are experiencing that I am a person now, or an individual self basically. Not a person, but I am an individual now. The taste of your being will remain on your tongue still. And also, mind will try to produce a experience here that I am a being in a certain state. Like mind will try to freeze your state right now, in the mind also, and be alert about it. Avoid this part. So being an individual, doing things and having the experience of our own being mixed with it is fine. But a sense that I am a awakened being, for example, I am a less awakened being, more awakened being. I'm, this try to avoid. Because there is still a leftover energy left by the ego, which is going to try to produce the identity inside us. This time using the experience of the self plus the remaining energy from the past impressions and energy together. Be alert about it. And what will happen is that slowly your experience of your being and your interest in your being is going to work like a fire to consume the remaining egoic energy and your interest in them. And there will be no egoic energy left in you at some point. And Nishant, then only you can really, genuinely experience the beauty of the ocean. Because this cup of tea is the ocean. And also it is the waves right now, which I am having. The body, the nails, the cup, absolutely everything is the waves created by that ocean. If I see any division anywhere now in this experience, then some residue of ego is left inside. In some way, no? And which is okay. Let's not be like, oh, I should not have anything like, no, let us accept the reality and improve upon it. No? So, as I say sometimes, learn to have a cup of tea sometime. This is going to be a holistic experience of the being the ocean and appreciating its own beauty. You are not appreciating beauty of some ocean. You, the ocean, is appreciating your own beauty of waves. No? Because if you and the waves are two, you are not going to enjoy it. Because you will have fear now. No? Fear of movement, of doing something. Because who is doing? How much is okay? How much loud, slow, fast? How much serious, non-serious? Like this. You cannot have a free flow until it becomes crystal clear to you who you are. No? So there were some things I felt that they may help, and in different times we'll talk about the same thing in different ways. So this time it felt like this. I hope that Nishant, you are able to connect to it the way you wanted to.
I think it's very helpful, Balavan. Very helpful, yeah. Can I check with you something?
Yeah.
So you mentioned to be cautious about getting caught in the state, like an awakened being, something like that, yeah? I was wondering the mantra you talked about earlier. the mantra of thank you, having gratitude will help not get into this state. Yeah. What I mean by that is in a very practical sense also at work, for example. Yeah. Sometimes we try to do something and it turns out really good. Yeah. So at that point, remembering that and being thankful to grace, will it be helpful? What was the
Totally.
question?
Actually, this thankfulness is a very powerful thing over the period I found. The more awake the being, the more powerful this mantra becomes. For more effective it becomes for us. Because the more powerful being, more awake being, the more subtle the illusion of separation will happen. No? Which will not be noticed by the being itself generally. No? But a thank you is like accepting something other than myself or also higher than myself. No? The moment the self accepts something higher than itself, the sense of separate self dissolves here. So now neither there is a lower self nor there is a higher self. There is only self now. The ocean, only ocean. That's why this is one of the greatest, pointings of Guruji. Thank you. It's just that how we use it. No, it's just about that.
Can I just add something, Philemon? This thank you, in some way, it's not like, okay, this good thing has happened. Now I have to say thank you. In some ways, it's like recognizing that for certain things to happen, so many things have to line up, and so many things are actually beyond my control. Somehow a little hesitatingly, I will mention one thing, an actual thing that happened in the office. Somebody had come from the parent company, and they were there for a day for a discussion. Yeah. And typically something which would have taken many days and weeks to come to a conclusion, it was done by the end of the day. They shook hands and left that, let's do it this way. Yeah. And it's actually a genuine feeling of gratitude and amazement that it can happen this way. One wrong thing, one thing said in the wrong way can derail things, and it'll take days to come back to track. Yeah. And when this thing has happened, everything has happened, has aligned so well to come to this conclusion. We cannot feel but, be thankful, really be grateful, really be amazed in some way that it actually happened this way, it's actually like on the ground realization that, that grace is helping, it is grace basically, yeah. And the thank you is kind of automatic, it's not like an afterthought. It really is thank you and amazement that it happens this way.
Yes, yeah. It's very beautiful what you are saying. I found that as we become more wise in a way, more mature being, more conscious being, no? We are actually able to see that how much more things are falling in the right place in my life than they should generally. Like we are able to sense that it's not me, the individual self, who can do these things really. Something else is for sure doing it. It's just that maybe I'm not clear, fully aware about it yet. Uh, Being thankful in the genuine way is like a way of being free from, or is a way to not take life personally also. No? Like that, the more genuinely we are thankful to how life is, the less personal we will be towards it. what it being personal, the opposite of it, is that everything belongs to me, it's about me, me, me. No? Which is not really something good or bad, it's just the unconscious state of the self. No? Nishant, there is such a beauty of duality, but that cannot be lived by individual self so much. Although the one being of life tries to live that beauty as much as it can, until it starts suffering from it. Then it has to wake up to the truth that I am that one being of life. Then again it can start enjoying the duality. No? Then there is again beauty in the duality, meaning in the activity, in the me and you. No? Duality basically means a separate self. Can there be a separate self without another separate self? Can there be a relevance of a I without a you? No. So there has to be a you for a I, then only this I will be relevant. No? I can't live with or without you. This is the heaven and hell of duality. No? I cannot live with or without you. Meaning the I cannot live with or without you. It cannot live without you because it cannot exist without you. But it cannot live with you once it becomes enough conscious. Because now it wants more, which then it is getting from from this duality. No? Thank you. It's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Lala. Thank you.
Yatri, you want to say something?
Namaste, Rajee.
Namaste.
Maybe we explore present moment, present space more. Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay.
Actually, what happens is that as soon as you lower your raised hand, then your position moves on the screen. So I was trying to find you in the window, no? Where everybody is also present. So, can you explain a little more what you mean by exploring in this moment?
This simple framework, like there are thoughts and there is a big space and I am present. So in that space I am there, and yeah, I mean, yeah, space is there and has several concepts associated with it. Space is there, and there is this concept of 5 elements, and then one of the element is space. So somehow what I experience is this space, but true space or true emptiness. It is somehow mixed with it is, yeah, because I mean, from the place from where I'm seeing, and what is seen. It is how to put it into words, this thing. Or maybe say like purifying the space, maybe this concept of bhuta shuddhi, the concept of purifying the space, and then one is coming back from the space in front, which I term as a false space, and into true space or true emptiness. So maybe we explore this. Maybe I'm not able to tell it
Okay, understood. Yes. Understood. Actually, this is what I was exploring up to some degree with Anna also. Like purifying the space is also not that we can really empty the space completely, but purifying in the sense that removing whatever seems to be not fitting well, or we don't like it in our space also. Removing that, I don't want this in my space anymore. Like something, like we don't know from where it came, from where that experience came, but just trying to remove it. No? So that is maybe purifying the space. Purifying the space basically is trying to remove the experiences present in the energies, which are nothing but vibrations produced by the connected conditioning. Without changing that conditioning, purifying this space of energy is not going to be a lasting purification. No? We will feel purified today, and then very soon again it will come back. No? What happens that, let's say, when we are trying to purify this space, that time our attitude also changes. That may result in removing certain vibrations, certain conditioning also from our mind. That may result in removing that effects or those vibrations which are produced in our space of energy or consciousness, and we may feel that, okay, my effort of trying to purify my space has succeeded. No, unless we remove the roots or unless we change something at the root level, which are producing these experiences in the space or in the energies, the fundamental change will not take place, first of all. No? And how to bring about that fundamental change is what is meditation. That let's step back into a more natural space of being, which is not required to be purified. It is already pure. Although it doesn't taste pure, please understand, this is the important thing. It doesn't taste pure in the beginning because it doesn't have any taste for the experiencer which we have been, or for that experiencing. We have to adjust our experiencing or sensitivity towards it for some time. Then only it will become clear to us that this space is purer than the space in which we have been living, which we are trying to purify. So what will happen that in the meditation we are trying to do nothing. We are just sitting and doing nothing. Is it trying? We are not succeeding in the beginning. We are just trying, no? And mostly failing. And just brief moments of few seconds where we actually succeed. Then we have a glimpse or experience of that pure space of being, which is not being experienced there in the being. It is still being experienced from within the experience of space of energies only. But if we continue, we are actually able to experience our being from within our being. And that's not just an experience of purity. It is so much more than that, so much more profound than that. It's like everything in comparison to this space of energies, which is just nothing in a way, in comparison. No? It is real that being, experience of being, or profound experience of our own being is so real. Real in the sense that it is not going anywhere. In the sense that it is not changing. It is just not going anywhere, whatever you do. And this space of energy is so connected to the conditioning of the body-mind. From here the experiences are being produced. So there is no comparison in that way. One thing is very amazingly beautiful and common. The space of individual consciousness, the nature of this individual consciousness is also eternal. But the content is totally in the time, connected to the conditioning, which is producing this experience. So there is nothing permanent about the experience here. Only that material which is being used to produce the experience, that material is eternal, called the consciousness, which is forming as individual self right now. The conditioning is also temporary, conditioning being the imprints of past livings and understandings which have been embraced as true from within. So the individual self experiences anything to be true based on what it believes it to be true. When its belief about the truth connected to that thing changes, its experience of that thing also changes inside. But this is not applicable to the self that we are beyond energies. We do not need to believe that I am the self. We do not need to believe that the self is pure. It is pure regardless of whether we believe or not. Only we need to approach it and experience it. There's just one problem in the self, for the individual self who is approaching, who is meditating, that the individual self will not find itself in that self. This is the only problem. That's why individual self will always dive into this space of being, this purity of being, with a rope tied to it. Always. That's why even if it will be demanding or desiring or longing even, that how I can be here in this forever, it will never succeed really. And there is no way for the individual self to dissolve in the being, like a drop dissolving in the ocean. Drop does not dissolve in the ocean like this. Drop does not fall into the ocean. The ocean falls onto the drop actually. You know, the ocean falls onto the drop, not that the drop falls into the ocean. Drop falls in the ocean and immediately falls back into its own individual comfortable space of individuality again. No? It does not remain in the ocean. No? It's like this. But through this jumping into the ocean of being in meditation, the individual self starts becoming wise. You can say the individual level awakening starts happening. Like it starts becoming more stable and clear experiencer and knower. Then it kind of comes to a state where it is actually able to see that I am the problem. My own existence, my own self, I am is the problem. And unless that is resolved, I cannot be one with that which I am actually beyond it. And then somehow for being the ocean, it is able to let go of its belief that I am the drop. This is what is the ocean falls on the drop. No? The ocean simply discovers that I am the ocean. I am not the drop. There is a sense of drop. But I am an ocean also when I am a drop. Do you see what I am saying? It happens that when we feel ourselves to be individual, we don't forget that I am the ocean. Meaning I am that being basically. So there are different degrees. Slowly it is adjusted. Is it helpful for you, Yatri?
Yes. Yes, definitely.
So we should understand the best options. The more we understand the best options, the less time we will take. What are our best options in different states of the being? When some being, let's say, want to remain as the being, which means that I want to merge with the oceanic being, my being now, it must remain without doing anything. This is the way. No? And if it is demanding that I want to become one with the ocean, with the Lord, and not able to, basically it is holding on to being an individual while desiring to be free from being individual at the same time. And it is not going to succeed. No? Here clarity will help more, that what exactly I am desiring, what is my longing. Because all the longings are of the one being only. There is no actual wave at any point of time, independent from the ocean. It is the ocean playing as the wave, living as the wave only. So it is the ocean who desires to become the ocean one day. And it is the ocean who desires to become a wave and live as a wave for some time. So feeling that I am something separate from the ocean is the illusion, not that I am some separate self who has to become one. No, the illusion has to be clarified, not that there is an individual self which has to die or dive or merge or melt. You see what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that believe any of these things. I'm saying let us find out our best option, in what state we are, what works best for us. Because not everything will work for every state of the being. But I found that the clarity works always, absolutely always. Clarity works. Clarity simply means that being more clear than we are about what we are experiencing, knowing, seeing, desiring, longing. Like bringing more light of our consciousness, that's all. And that does magic actually. It may sound strange, but who are you who want to wake up? Who are you who want to merge with the ocean? Are you there or not? Yes, I'm there. Because if you are there, then only you can merge, no? But if you are there, you can also know who I am. No? So who are you? Who is there and who want to merge with God? Who are you? And if you look, then you are not there really as someone who is desiring. Something is there. That presence of God is here inside. The light of God is here inside. But that alone is here now. The habit of returning to that strong desire to be merged with God may pull us again and again. But the answer to that is not to attend it and work from it, but the answer is to see the reality. What is the reality? I feel it is common sense to check what are our bondage, like how I'm bound when we are trying to be free. It makes sense or no? Or shouting that I want to be free will help more. What will help more? Clarity will help more or not? Anybody who becomes clear about the bondage, they become free. Rest, until then we will continue working on being free from bondage. And yet we will be working for bondage only, not for freedom. Those who want to work for freedom, they must understand the importance of clarity. Not being in a hurry to become free, but in a more reasonable, appropriate speed. That, like in Hindi we say, ठहर कर देखना. Stop for a moment, slow down for a moment and see. Like, let's wake up, not like this. No, why? What is waking up? Why to wake? What is my problem? What exactly I am trying to fix here? Not rejecting anything, so much, but just being more clear about it than before. It's like this. Thank you. So thank you, Yatri. Very nice talking to you, beloved.
Yeah, thank you very much. And it's such a gift and opportunity also to be present, so sharp, and also to have showering of your clarity, which somehow sharpens my clarity at some extent. It's so beautiful. Yeah. Thank you for this grace and sharing.
You are that being of life, which I am also. It is helping itself to become clear. That's why there is such a joy in satsang, no? It's not like an outsider work, like, oh, you and me. It's not a you and me really. You know, as if we enter into satsang from duality. But where we reach here is not duality so much. You know, it's a taste of non-dual reality immediately if we are able to come to satsang even for a moment. That oneness is experienced here. No? Oneness means that being is one. You know, oneness means being is one. You know, that's why it is so important to kind of become clear about this one thing called I am. Because I am basically is being. Being is one. And this one being is the witness in all the bodies. No? It is looking. You know, it's looking really through every form, which is an amazing thing to see. Like, one will not really feel so arrogant or something. One will feel more folded hands, like, wow, thank you for this darshan, my beloved Lord. Because who is looking at me? Very nice, thank you. Stephanie, you want to say something?
Hello, beloved. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
It's long ago that I felt to speak, but in this morning, I woke up at 5 o'clock and I felt to listen to you from the last time.
Oh.
And in the listening, it's for me first to say that all the satsangs are just, I'm always speechless, so I can't speak actually. I just drown in it, and this morning, also I felt something is missing, that I can't come forward because there's so much gratitude here, and today it's all about gratitude, and I came here listening to the satsang, and in the satsang I was falling somehow like asleep, but in this sleep, which I cannot call sleep, you came and really picked me up, like I was so much longing, and you were really, I was falling into your arms, and I felt like I have no words for that. Really, that your love, your sweetness was showering on me, like, and this satsang here today is just going on.
Yeah, so beautiful, no?
And normally I am very shy to say something because I feel the words are too poor to express what is given here. And also this
nobody can
feeling
express actually. Meaning nobody can express truth in words.
But I always felt very like handicapped to when I hear all the people
Same
speaking.
here. I also feel the same.
Really,
Yeah, always.
it was so much.
Every day I feel the same. That's why next meeting is a feeling that I try again to speak. No?
And yeah, now I feel so much more like really what you said, the ocean coming out.
It is always
And
coming.
and I had the same, and have often the same, that I never reach. It's always I'm in the way, and all the stuff, and it's really melting, because the life is becoming so like answered prayer. I often thank God. I always include God, because I feel so helpless with this form and everything. Just had to express this for today, that I took a bit courage to raise my hand, because its words are so little. And
Actually, it's same for me, same for you. We don't need to hesitate in expressing, because none of us is succeeding in expressing the truth. All are trying only. It is our love for truth, dedication and devotion for exploring the truth, that is making us succeed together, not really our capacity of speaking. No? The more we are clearly able to feel what we are expressing in satsang, no, that's all. Because somehow even the expressing of truth the ocean can take over, even for some moment. And there is no individual here. You know, when the mind is so absorbed in the beauty of that which we are expressing, for a moment there is no individual here. The beloved takes over. And same for listening also. If we can be absorbed in listening, the beauty of that, the beloved not only speaks, beloved listens also. Beloved can take over in me, in you also, when listening. No? And there is such a beauty of it now. Not something need to be completed. No, completion is being lived, not something is being completed. Satsang is the most divine, significant, important and useful thing of life I know of. And yet it has no purpose actually for the one who lives it. It is its joy that it discovers itself here in Satsang. Thank you. Very nice talking to you. Thank you. I don't mean that anything that you think about yourself as individual self or anything that you want to talk about and discuss is something bad, or you are not the oneself when you are doing so. But this place, this meeting, this satsang or these satsangs are not for that discussion. They are for the discussion that are we one, are we the true being or not. For that there are other people who are living in that model, in that state, in that interest. And discussion can happen with those people. No? But for a being like me, discussion, it interests me and inspires me only when you are interested in discovering the truth. That's why we all have come together. No? But try to understand that having other discussions is not going to make you less of a self. That's where totality comes in play. Totality is not about being intense in doing something. Totality is about being comfortable in doing what we are doing. You know, also comfortable, like letting go of that resistance we have for what we are doing, like a yes and no at the same time. No, that's where we will meet the beloved also in the doing. No, because beloved is not somebody. It is like everybody and it is like nobody. at the same time. You are that which is beloved, no? And you are going to taste that also in the form of somebody or anybody and everybody. Very nice, thank you. Deva, you want to say something?
Namaste, Rajee. Is the voice okay? I'm not using a headset.
Yeah, it's okay.
Um, I can use one if it is needed. I don't have much to say except thank you for this meeting and all the meetings, because slowly what I've started to see is that I started to see that I didn't know the language you spoke. I always thought that I have spent time with Osho and other masters, and I felt it will not be difficult. But then as time is going and I am being in meetings with you, I've started to notice that there is a language, and that is a simple language. And if I am simple, I can hear that language. And I feel it more and more now that in Hindi there is a phrase, it says कि अब पल्ले पड़ रहा है, मतलब now I am understanding. And I am very grateful to you for patiently trying in all possible ways that everybody gets it. And that is one thing I want to say. And secondly, today is a very special occasion for many Indians and mainly Jain people. Besides being Ganesh Chaturthi, there is a thing called Michami Dukkadam, which means I ask for forgiveness, and to all the beings, and especially I feel I want to ask from you, because I know most times out of my personal understandings I would speak things which were, it is likely it can be inappropriate within the environment. And I felt this is a great opportunity, because this is the day when many people, many beings here are asking for the same thing, that I ask for forgiveness for any mistakes that I have done so far, and any time that I have in my unconsciously caused pain or hurt or whatever. And I ask for forgiveness also to you, Rajee, and to anybody, to everybody.
There is no impression in me, such impression in me towards you. My being remains empty. So best approach is to meet in the moment, no, freshly, and forgetting the past is the best approach in satsang. No? Practical life events or doings will have consequences up to some degree, and they have to be, they have to be lived by us up to some degree also. No? That's a different story. But between me and you, there is no actual practical life things happening. No, so I cannot. But thank you. It's a beautiful gesture. It's not really about me when you are saying. It's about you really. That you are saying that I'm ready to be empty now. Because when you forgive, when you ask for forgiveness from others, you are actually forgiving yourself first also. No? You are accepting that yes, there is a possibility that unknowingly I have done something. No, that comfort, that relax in the being is very good sign for waking up to who we are also, in a way. It's very good. Thank you. And everybody, very, I wish all of you Ganesh Chaturthi, no, today. Happy Ganesh Chaturthi today. The beginning of a very pure, we call Pavan, like, pure time begins until for next 10 days, until 17th. Even in the morning, we saw somebody was bringing Lord Ganesha home, and me and Madhvi went out for walking, and already the celebration was felt. No? Gunatitaye, Gunadhishaye, Guna Pravishtaye Dhimahi. Meaning Lord Ganesha is beyond all the guna. Guna means like, tamas, rajas, sattva. Beyond. And he is the Lord of all the guna. And he is in all of the guna also at the same time. This is Lord Ganesha. No? Amazing, amazing it is. Thank you, beloved.
Pranam ji. Ji, I just want to share today's meeting is very different. Means whenever I attend meeting, I feel this is the most powerful meeting. But today I see it is completely different. Beginning, I'm trying to listen the questions and understand the thing, and slowly I see I just in the seat in the temple, and Harikatha is going on, and not interest to understand or anything, just be here. Thank you so much.
Translating into English, like what you are saying is that I'm being in a temple, Harikatha is going on. Harikatha basically means a story of God, that we are reciting a story of God, some story of God. There are so many story of God like this, and it feels like just want to listen. There is no need to understand. Listening is more than enough, more than sufficient. It feels like this. I want to tell you that this is actually true satsang. In the true satsang, in the essence of satsang, in the soul of satsang, there is no individual self given some work to do. No, come, eat, rejoice. It's like this. Come, drink, rejoice. It's like this. Nobody is given some work to do here. If we have little bit openness, if we have little bit flexibility, if we have little bit genuine interest in truth, that one who invites us in satsang will start guiding us from within. Like what to do now. Because it is not some individual self trying to discover what is the one self. It is the one self playing as the individual self right now. How far it will be to know it, how difficult. It's just about relaxing a little bit here, allowing a little bit here to taste the wind, the taste, the fragrance and the moisture, the rain, the wetness of the rain. And as you know, the falling rain does not need any translation. It's a beautiful thing I had read somewhere by a great writer, a great being also. A falling rain does not need any translation. It doesn't need any translation, especially for those beings who are thirsty. Meaning who are thirsty enough that I'll just drink. I feel very happy to hear this from you. Even if it is like this for today, it's beautiful. Tomorrow maybe it will not be like this. It's fine. Because it is when you stop, then satsang becomes a very powerful and special place for you. It is not that somebody is giving you something. It is the same beloved giving you. Same one beloved giving every one of us. It is just that we have to stop. No? We are just not stopping, we are just moving too much, chasing thoughts, feelings too much. No? In meditation, we learn to stop slowly. No? In satsang, we can actually succeed without practice. In satsang, we can succeed without practice. It seems like there is some power here. If we can allow to plug into it, something much deeper can be discovered and tasted today. Thank you. I think it's very nice.
Thank you so much, Ji. Just feeling एक भी सांस रहे. Means what I feel, there is no difference, and it remains always. I just pray for you.
I think it was beautiful what you were saying in Hindi. No, what was that? Please say.
एक भी सांस रहे ना अकेले.
हाँ. एक भी सांस अलग नहीं लेनी. Meaning, I don't want to take even one breath separate from you, my beloved. And if I do take even one breath separate from you, you remove the prana, from my soul, and you make me die. You die, make me die immediately, oh my beloved. If I take even one breath separate from you now. No? Beautiful, beautiful. This is a desire, a thirst, a longing in the heart, in the core of the soul itself, which is the door and a how-to about how to reach home. No? We are just searching outside in the mind. No? We have to stay in the place of thirst, no? To find the blueprint of how to reach to the water. No? So stay in this thirst. This thirst is fire also for everything that we have imagined it to be true. No? I'm just sharing. Everyone, please see what is good for you, what clicks to you. Just be happy. Just succeed, basically, in being joyful. That's my wish to all of you. My prayer in my heart to my Guru, to Lord, that you succeed in being joyful, peaceful, happy. Because this life is so much more beautiful, actually, possible to be experienced so beautifully than generally we are experiencing. Thank you. You are doing fine?
Namaste. I feel so much joyful being with you today. And it's a rare thing for me to feel joyful. Thank you so much.
Actually, you should not be surprised. I can very much correlate with what you are saying. Like, it's so surprising to feel joyful. I can understand this so deeply because we have lived in such a dry state of being for so long that it feels so surprising. Like we feel fear that I'm kind of going to fall apart. I'm going to go out of control. It feels like this. That's why we are invited to do the practice of just sitting and doing nothing, so that when we start becoming joyful, we still remain not doing anything. Otherwise, we may start dancing or something out of control, maybe. It's beautiful. Thank you.
Beloved, I just don't know how to. I feel, how can I appreciate this? Like I'm too small to be able to appreciate the kind of effort that you make with us every time. It's for so long. And then, Rajee, at the end of it, when you say thank you, I don't understand. What are you thanking for? Like, that has been my latest dilemma.
In some other satsang, we will discuss about it because it's a long answer. Because thankfulness is the most mysterious thing really in life also. First of all, it is because my Guruji taught me. So whenever I say thank you, I remember my Guruji, and I am saying to my Guruji thank you, when I'm saying thank you to any one of you also, or anything in life also. The rest we will talk some other day about this. But thank you that you can connect to it. No? Maybe it is my heart also feels that pain when you are not able to live in joy, in truth. That it feels happy, thankful now when you are able to live. No? Thank you. Very, very good. Samya, you wrote, I actually hate being tired or when body is not in restful state. Yet, yes, it was such a powerful meeting that despite of restlessness, such purity of seeing was shining throughout the meeting. Thank you, beloved. It is okay. It's going to be eventual. Feeling tired, like whatever is the state of body, it's just eventual. This is how it is right now. But able to connect and live the truth is your power. It's your true power. There are days or in our life, in the spiritual journey, when we feel that because today I'm feeling tired, that's why I'm not able to connect in truth, in satsang. And there are days in our life when we say that because my body mind is so tired today, that I had no other option but to remain connected in truth, in satsang. It's just what matters more. It's just about that. It's just about value. Thank you. Very, very happy to have you here. Mila, you wrote, such a beautiful meeting, so much clarity I was experiencing with you. Thank you, dear. Thank you, Mila ji. God bless you. It was amazing meeting with all of you. It doesn't feel like really we should end this meeting, but the time has come for it now to end this meeting. And with all the gratitude, thankfulness, to my Guru, to Lord, and thankfulness to all of you. Thank you, beloved, for joining this meeting.